Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and I'm the Spiritual Witch. Today I'm going to share with you the power behind your magic. Now I think that magic is sort of thought of in two different camps. You have the magic of, the stage performer and the pulling rabbits out of hats and that kind of magic. And then you have witchcraft magic and ceremonial magician magic. All of the woo-woo magic, the things that are kind of unexplained and a lot of people don't believe in it. And even for new witches out there, I'm hoping that this can kind of help you. This will kind of give you something concrete to sort of build your magic on, because I don't know, I've been doing witchcraft for many moons now, and these are just the things that came to me and I wanted to share it with you. This is obviously not the end-all be-all. This isn't a perfect formula, but these are just some ideas that I have that I want to share with you. I have my handy notebook here. Otherwise this video would get extremely long. I've already done like 12 intros just to get this thing started because nothing seems to work. I'm gonna get started. So the power behind your magic, there are a lot of moving pieces to this. So I will just get started with energy being the top and most important component. When we're working with magic, we're working with energy. And everything that we know of on our planet, in our universe, I'm not a scientist, but we do know that everything is literally particles in motion. And depending upon the frequency and vibration of those particles, you get the material things. But beyond that, there is a wide open field of energy and things that we can't see. And that's where the fun begins. The fact that, there's just so much that we don't know, even still. And magic goes back to the beginning of time, prehistoric times, ancient times, the Renaissance, so on and so forth. You can just, if you Google magic, the history of magic, it's gonna take you into some crazy places, and you can learn a lot. It's amazing. These people, these humans, they were so curious, and curiosity is the key. That's how we are where we are now. So my way of thinking is that without an imagination and without the curiosity and questioning and just understanding that we don't know what we're capable of, that's magic in and of itself. That's why we are so advanced as we are today. So there's that, the energetic realm, and the fact that magic has been a part of creation and life since the beginning of time. So to begin with, magic. What is magic? Now, in my explanation or description of it, it's literally a wavelength of pure potential that's like the strings of a guitar. All it needs is your intention and belief and action to create music, right? It's just a guitar. It's just sitting there being this guitar, this inanimate object. As soon as you have an intention to learn to play the guitar, a belief that you want to learn, and you're gonna remain steadfast in your learning, and you put the action into it, then you create, and to me that's what magic is, pure potential. This existence is a play and a dance, and we don't know why we're here, but in the not knowing exists pure potential. The mystery is the magic. And that says it right there, the mystery of this lifetime. And that's the most important thing that I want to get across right now, is that we don't know. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. Since day one, we don't know. We're in 2022 and we still have no concrete factual knowledge of what we're doing here. How was this all created? There are a lot of theories and philosophies, but nobody can actually put their finger on a dot and say this is how it all started. And to me, I get fizzy inside with just that, just that not knowing. It's exciting to me. Every day is exciting to me because it's a mystery. And I think of the mystery as the magic. So one of the most, I would say the most important component in this whole power behind your magic is you. You know, it's you. Understand that you, as well as everything else on this planet, seen and unseen, are in co-creation. You are connected with the web of life. So that being said, you know, you're an individual, and you're an individual with your own, like, there is no second you. There's no you number two. You have characteristics that are much like other people, and you take on these, you know, certain identities and traits and things that can fit in and mesh with the energy of others, but you alone are absolutely unique. And that's what's needed. Like, your specific energy, your uniqueness is needed to create this entire web of what we call our universe. And that goes to our ancestors and to all of us that are in this timeline right now, and to the future, and all of the beautiful human beings and that are going to come after us. So we're all playing a part in this, right? So we've got your uniqueness that goes with this. So to break down the elements of you, one of the things to think about when we're talking about magic, my nose is itching, I'm sorry. One of the things to think about is, what is your vibration? And I talked about earlier that everything in our existence is vibrating. It's on a certain frequency. And so whatever your vibration is creates your energetic current, right? And your vibrational frequency is affected by everything around you. Your beliefs, your views on the world around you. You know, are you a positive kind of person? Do you think that the world is out to get you? Are you excited about learning new things and meeting new people and new opportunities? All these things feed into the vibration that is you. And, you know, the people that you choose to let into your life, all these things are feeding you on a daily basis. What are the things that you eat? How are you eating? What are you putting into your body? What are you consuming? You know, what is your environment? And if it's, you know, where are you living? What does your bedroom look like? What does your house look like? If it's cluttered and crowded, all of these things that are a part of your life that make up, you know, your mood and your, you know what I'm saying, the way you think and feel on a daily basis. The place to start to kind of look at all of that is, like I said, all these things, the people, the things that you're taking in that could create your vibration. The most important question I feel to ask yourself on a daily basis, all day long if you want to, anytime you're going to make a choice or make a decision about something, ask yourself, does this expand me or does it contract me? So anytime something comes up, whether it's a choice or a decision at work or about a job or about any kind of event or a person that you're going to engage with, whatever it might be, is this person going to, even just thinking about a specific thing, does it expand you? Does it make you get excited? Do you feel open when you're thinking about it? But just basically, is what's going on in your life, is it expanding you and creating a space to grow, or is it something that's constricting you and kind of making you feel tight inside and really closed off? So the next component to this is the subconscious mind. And the first thing that I want to get across is the fact that your magical results are that of your subconscious mind every time. And what I mean by that is, like, you can't bullshit the universe. You know, whether you call it God, source, the creator, whatever your reference point is in your mind to what created all of this, that thing, that unnameable thing, you can't bullshit it. So unfortunately, a lot of us have had a lot of rewiring to do, because the subconscious mind stores everything, absolutely everything. With the subconscious mind, all the things, the pain and the hurt, the fears, all of the things that have happened in our life up to this point are what sort of make up our vibration and our energy level. And so if the subconscious is all out of whack and you don't have a strong belief system in magic or yourself, or I really don't know how else to explain this. If you don't have all of the things worked out, the shadow work, I guess, is what I could reference in this, is if you have a lot of stuff that's just this muck of your past and this unrealistic view of who you are as a person, that's going to get in the way when it comes to magic. So that's why you'll hear a lot of the spiritual community reference, shadow work and really, getting into your mind and your heart and sort of retelling the story, if you will, to give your subconscious something else to have stored instead of all of these false beliefs and these stories that you've made up about past experiences. Because every time, I promise you, your magic is reliant on your subconscious. So I made a video a while ago towards the beginning of my channel, and it was, I think the name of it is Know Thyself. It's really, really an important video because the most important person that you can ever get to know is you. And there are so many different parts and pieces to you to focus on and care about in order to, like I said, to work on the shadow and realize that, it's you versus you. So the next part of this is I referenced the imagination. The imagination is so important. And one of the questions to ask yourself, some of the questions to ask yourself is, how far does your imagination take you? Like literally, how big do you allow your magic to be? Are your limitations based on outside rules and boundaries? The fact is that we don't know how big is. Stop limiting your potential. The imagination is so key. It's so interesting how when we were children, there was nothing off limits. We imagined all this big, beautiful stuff and the unicorns and the rainbows and all the things, and then as we get older, like all of that just gets buried away and pushed away by society and what we're told to believe in, and what we're told is just not true and can't exist, and it's crazy. So one of the major things that I want you to do is actually throw that around in your mind, play with that for a little while and say, really, do I stop myself when I'm imagining, like when you're creating your future in your mind and you're sort of, I don't know if you're a vision board person or not, but the things that you want to see happen in your future, are you limiting that picture? Because 9 times out of 10, you probably are. We all sort of have this kind of cap as to how high the ceiling of our imagination can go. And I can have this, but that would be way, way out of the question. There's no way I'm gonna earn enough money to be able to have that thing. So I'll just keep it right here instead of going like boundlessly up into the cosmos and imagining the biggest and the greatest things. So that's definitely something to think about. Our imagination can take us anywhere. And, that's how we're where we are now. Like I said at the beginning, the things that have been invented and created for us is all because someone had this grand imagination and someone thought outside of the limitations of what had already been done. So last but not least is the field. This is what gives the energetic momentum to your spell or your magic. When I talk about the field, it's scientists, magicians, will talk about the fact that we are all emitting this energy, and all of the things that we do, all of the It's like I was talking about the subconscious mind. Kind of think about it like that, but just for the entire planet. There's this memory bank. There's this collection of energy that comes from everything. And so at all times during your life, you're accessing this field and you're also contributing to it. That's why if you are if you're in a great mood and you're in the energy of somebody who's very negative, that's going to affect you. That goes out. All of this energy goes out. So it's kind of like a bank, I guess, is the way to describe it. So many witches will talk about the fact that you don't have to have tools, you don't have to do a ritual a specific way. And I'm not going to tell you that you do, but I want to explain to you why it's so important for, like in ceremonial magic, for instance, there's a set way that things are done. And the belief behind this is that there needs to be a uniform way, because if everybody is doing the same exact thing each and every time, it raises energy. It creates what's called, you can call it a thought form, and thought forms are magic in and of themselves. But there's also, I don't know if you've ever heard of an egregore. I'm going to do a video on that at some point. But the more people that feed into something or that put attention on a specific thing, the more power and the more energy that specific thing has, and it just continues to grow. So if, for instance, the LBRP is one of those things. Moon ritual is one of those things. The ritual tools. Each and every ritual tool is a specific, it represents a specific thing for a specific reason. Clothing that you wear during a ritual, if you wear the same type of clothing each and every time. Remember earlier I was talking about the subconscious mind and rewiring it and resetting it. If you have a specific, like jewelry for instance, there are specific things that I will wear during my ritual. And what happens is it triggers the subconscious mind, and the power and the energy that you feel during ritual, using these specific things, wearing these things, going about the ritual in a set way, it creates energy, and it creates a subconscious memory and a stamp that equals power and momentum. And like for instance, if you've ever heard of global meditation, it's where people all over the world have a specific time that they're going to sit in meditation. And that's for, for unity, for peace, for healing across the planet. And that's incredibly powerful because it raises this energy, and it's this loving, pure energy that's just feeding this collective conscious. So the same goes for moon water. The moon is incredible. We've been feeding our energy into the moon for how long now? And can you imagine the power that just the moon alone has? I mean, she does her thing as it goes, with the tides and the ebb and flow of the ocean. But when you think about, it was funny because that was actually my very first video on this channel, and it's because I'm so passionate about the moon. And it was about moon water, because not only am I making moon water on a full moon, but so are so many other people, and you can connect with that energy across the planet. Everybody that's doing the same thing that you are, there's a unified energy. That's one of the ways to create momentum in your spells and in your magic, is tapping into these specific things, and even with yourself in your rituals. Obviously, cultivate and curate your craft as you want to, and do the things that feel right for you. But I'm just kind of giving you ideas as to how and why these people, these magicians and these witches and even different shaman and just people all over the world do things a specific way, is because they either know of this collective conscious, or they understand that it's just this unified force that can be tapped into. So yeah, at night, for instance, I literally get these I get excited when I sit in meditation because I like to think about not only, you're not supposed to be thinking when you meditate, but you're supposed to be clearing your mind. But one of the things that definitely catapults me into this beautiful space is knowing as I'm sitting there that there are people all over the world that are probably sitting in meditation as well, you know, stopping for a moment and feeding themselves and caring about themselves and giving themselves a moment to just clear their mind and find peace. So yeah, it's pretty powerful. Some other energetic forces to think about are your beliefs. What do you believe? Why do you believe that? Always question and contemplate. Your intention is very, very important. What's the whole point in you casting a spell or performing this magical rite? Self-love is incredibly important. Now, self-love is something that it's literally a process that is never ending. We're all growing and learning to love ourselves more and more each day. But it's important to give yourself the #1 spot in your life, for sure. Knowing that you don't know and therefore anything is possible is such an important point that I want to make as well. It's so exciting to me to know that this world, this existence is limitless. We are only held back, we are only held back by the limitations that we have set up for ourselves or that we believe from other people. And that's why I think shadow work is so important. Meditation is so important. A daily grounding practice is so important. So the last 3 things that I want to touch on are your will. Your will in performing a spell is paramount. As soon as you decide that you want to create this spell, there shouldn't be any question. And that's not coming from ego, that's coming from a place of knowing that you have this power within you to create and manifest anything you want. For instance, I'm not going to cast a spell if I don't have a concrete feeling that this, my will be fulfilled. This is what I need to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is it. I'm going to co-create with the universe, and this thing is going to happen. Until I'm in that place, I'm not even going to mess with it. For instance, I want to fly, but I'm not going to go cast a spell to fly because I don't actually believe that there is the potential for that to happen. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. And then trust. Trust is so, so, so important. And that's where there's no reason to not believe that what you are casting out and what you are sending out into the universe in this whole game and play of co-creation between you and this universal energy is not going to happen. Just trust. Send it out and trust. And the last is cast and release. And this is so important. Do the ritual, do the things, cast the spell, and then let it go. And I'm sure you've heard it before, and it's so, so important. If you hang on to it and you reread the spell and you hem and haw and wonder if you've done it right, or you kind of sit on it and you're like, well, I haven't gotten it yet, and then you go to re-perform the spell or the ritual, you're keeping it right here. And the whole idea with this energy that you have is to send it out, let it go. So cast and release and just trust and know that your will has been put out and set forth, and things will be as they will. And that's it. These are all just some of my ideas, some of the things that I've seen within my practice that have really, really helped me. And I hope that in some way I have given you some ideas to bounce around in your mind. And yeah, so until the next video, stay magical and be blessed. I will see you soon.